Okay guys, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So we're going to be doing a foam background in this one. We did a gold one last time, but I didn't quite like the way that it turned out, but I posted it anyway. So today we're going to be remaking it, but a little bit different. So, what I need you to do, go to the render. We'll go to switch out EV to cycles. We're going to go ahead to the output. Now you want to pay attention to the resolution, X and Y right here. What you want to do, essentially, is find out how many pixels across your phone has and how many pixels down. So, once you've got those, go ahead, put this into here. And what I'm going to do, let's go 3088 for the next one for my one. What I'm going to do, let's go 7 to heaven, right here. What I'm going to do is go view, and we will align camera to view. Now, what we want to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and shrink this cube down just ever so slightly. And I'm going to change this to gold. So we go Principal BSDF Materials section. And we're going to go ahead, go metallic. If we turn on the render right here, you can see what I'm doing. And we'll go roughness and we'll bring that up just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and change this to a nice yellowy orange for that gold aesthetic. Blender has stopped working apparently. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and just blank off this screen real quick, and then I'm going to reload Blender. Where are my settings at? Window capture. Right, okay, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this to work again, because for some reason it's totally crashed. Okay, so you're gonna have to look at my beautiful face whilst we're doing this. You know, I'm hearing the haters. I'm hearing the haters. I heard someone who was really, yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but I just thought really, man. Okay, we are back. Okay, so we are good. I just need to get those screenshot keys right there. Yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll change the EV to cycles. I have no clue why stuff is crashing on me today. This is crazy. Yeah, I woke up this morning with no internet connection as well, so clearly there's something going on. Although it may be the fact that I did put a game capture card right next to my Wi-Fi card, which I think they're interfering with one another, so maybe I'm going to make some amendments to that. So we have our camera right here, we have our little cube right here. We'll go 7 to heaven. Let's go ahead and make this cube again. We'll go materials, and we're going to go ahead and just make that kind of a goldy colour. You guys can probably do this better than me. Let's set down that roughness and we'll put it on that render. So now you can see this kind of roughness going on. I'm just going to go ahead and shrink that down just a little bit. This lighting, we're going to need to improve that just ever so slightly so we can see what's going on. Right, so with this cube, we've got material. We're going to call this gold. And every single cube that we do from now on is going to be the same gold that we do, unless we amend it into a different material. So I'm going to go ahead 7 to heaven. Come on. 7. There we go. Right. So we're going to go view. We'll align view. Let's go align camera to view. So we got this right here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this cube right here. We're going to go Shift D. We'll move this across. So we're duplicating stuff. Shift D, duplicate this across. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to go Shift D, duplicate this across. It doesn't matter if there's a big gap in between, the gaps kind of give it a little bit of character. We're going to be rotating these anyway, so it's cool. So, take all of your cubes that you've just made. And we're going to go ahead and just duplicate these upwards. And go ahead again, duplicate these upwards. And once again, up. And once again, we'll go up. To be honest with you, I think this row needs to come down just ever so slightly. Oops. Let's go view camera. Active camera. Right, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these down just ever so slightly. Okay, so once we've got these, we can go ahead and select everything. So we can go Shift A. Bring this down. So it comes to the bottom right here. And then we're going to go Shift E again. We'll bring this up. And what you'll notice is that these are just slightly off the camera length. So what I'm going to do, let's go box select. Double click the camera right here at the bottom if you've got an overhang, so that we're not touching the camera as well. We're going to press G. Oh, wow. Okay, let's press G. Bring this down. Come on. Right, so. Sorry, 1 second. We will grab all of this. I hope this doesn't crash again. Right, I'm just going to press Shift, hold Shift, and then double click the camera so that we're not selecting the camera. So that it's not selected up here as well. So we're going to press G. And we're going to bring this down. So it's just here as such. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to rotate the camera. So we're going to click the camera. And what you want to do, just press R for rotate. Since we're 7 to heaven, this will not move in any other trajectory. We're going to go so that it's just sideways like this. So just try and line up the cubes a little bit just on the side. So the best way of doing it, I think, is we just press G, bring this across. You want to make sure, when this comes up, you've kind of got this line just directly down the centre of the cube right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate all of this to the sides as well. So double click your camera or single click your camera, make sure that it's not selected up here. We're going to go Shift D and we can just go ahead and we can move this across. So whilst this is at an angle for us, it isn't actually an angle within Blender, it's just that the camera is at an angle. So let's go ahead and get this across. You can zoom out, you can zoom in at this point if you'd like to. So now we've got this nice little gold thing going on, and if we go into the render, we've kind of got this nice little kind of checkered background going on. We got the lighting at one side. What you can actually do is you can move the lighting to more the middle. So say like you've got the time on your phone or something like that, you can just go ahead and place this at the top and this will be the brightest part. So this gold doesn't look very goldy. So what I'm going to do, we can go ahead and we can turn down the roughness if you want to, so you've kind of got that little gold going on, but to be honest with you, it doesn't look great, right? And also you've got this light right here, and then you've got this light right at the bottom right here, which means that at some point I duplicated the lights, and I did. So there's one right here, so let's get rid of that, and there's one right here, so let's get rid of that. We don't need the contamination of other lights within this. So we're going to go ahead and go to the active camera again, and now we have this nice little bit. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go add, let's get a plane in the background, so we've got that nice little background between. Now with this background you can do any tone that you want, just press new. We'll change the material to background. And what we can do with this gold now, we can go onto the shading tab. And essentially, you could have an angle actually if you really wanted to. You could put the angle this way for your piece. So what I'm going to do before we start amending camera angles is let's go ahead and add a noise texture just to pick up on some of that lighting. We'll go color to base color. You'll notice that the base colour now changes and we've got this nice little rainbow thing going on. So what, you're probably asking me what was the point in changing it to gold? Well, it's just reference for that part of the video. So what we're going to do now is rechange it to gold and add a colour ramp. So we place the colour ramp right here in the middle. You'll notice that you've got black and white. The more that I pull the black across, the less light there is. But if we put the black and the white together, the more contrast there is. So depending on what you would like, we can do mild scratches, we can do heavy scratches. So on this point right here, we can change this white out to gold. You can have like a nice little rose gold, like a royal gold or something like that. Or you could just have standard. Let's see, I'm just trying to pick the best. See, I'm looking at the objects, looking for gold and stuff like that. But what I should be doing is looking at the colour bar at the bottom just to kind of get that specific tone. I think that's just about right. Okay, so once we have this, and we click render, we have something like this. Now, obviously we don't want all of these pits everywhere because it looks unsightly, right? So, what you want to do, let's go back onto the other render mode, and we will do add, and we're going to do bump. Now, you can do bump on two sides, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to do colour to height with the bump. So we go noise texture to bump, colour to height. And we should have something like this. So when we render this, we now have this gold that's got little imperfections on it. We can go ahead and just move the black up, and we can see that there's more texture there. If we move the black away, it's a little bit more flatter. So it's totally up to you what you want to do with your piece. Remember, this is your piece. You can also take down the roughness, and you can have that super shine going on. But if there's nothing going on in the background, I wouldn't advise it. So what I mean by the background is, if you put let's use this for an example. So I don't like using some of the lighting that Blender provides, such as suns and spotlights and stuff. So what I do instead is use emissions on planes. So if you had a plane and you had an emission on your plane, for me it's a better lighting source than the standard ones. I just feel that I have more control over what I'm doing. So we've got this right here. What we can do is we can take the noise texture and the bump right here. We can go Shift D, move this down, and what we can do from here is the bump on the bottom that we've just moved down, we can change this up to the roughness. And you'll notice that it is super bright and shiny. Because the light is super bright and shiny. So let's just go ahead and just dim that light a little bit. It kind of reminds me of fudge. I don't know why it reminds me of fudge, but it reminds me of fudge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, tone that down a little bit. And you've got your little grooves and patterns right there. So clicking back onto this, we can also mess around with the distance, and you can bring a little bit more gravel into that via the roughness if you really wanted to, or you could reduce it just slightly, or you could bring this gravel right in and you could reduce the black. So you've got that nice little texture going on, but it's a nice little light gold kind of colour. So what we can also do, see how that goes lighter. We can also do this one at the bottom, the filter. This gives it a little bit more of a texture. So it's totally up to you what you want to do with this. Let's go ahead and view the camera just on the layout. And I'm going to click this background right here. So you can see there's a lot of light coming in right here. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on. For me personally, I don't like the amount of roughness that's on here. So you imagine you don't like the amount of roughness that's on here. So we can actually go ahead and tone that down. So we can go with the distance just at the bottom right there. And just go ahead and just pull that back. Just ever so slightly. I can also go ahead and amend the tones that I've used, so maybe we could have some more orange in there, make it a little bit more yellow. We could go ahead, we can place some yellow. Maybe some green, just to kind of offset it just a little bit. And what I'm going to do, let's go to layout. I'm going to go ahead and just change some of these as well. So if we go rotate, R for rotate, we can move some of these in just a little bit and out. So they have little imperfections with them. Let's go ahead and just rotate some of these. So it gives it that nice little offset. So it's not just a boring background with squares on it, it's a little piece. So you can go ahead and just turn these. I would say just left and right, back and forth, rather than twist. So see, yeah. Okay, so say move them around to your heart's desire. See what you can do with them. Just go ahead and just move little ones here and there. Sorry, I'm just like gonna do this and maybe just stop talking. Let's go that middle one right there. Come on. And I think that would look pretty good for kind of a background. And also what you could do is pick up these as well. So we could go G. We could go the Z-axis, I believe it is. I just pick up like random ones and just kind of make some texture. Let's go with this one. Maybe, let's go with this one. Maybe this one. Just so you get that variation, really, of everything that's going on. And then I'm going to do this one. I think this is going to be the last one to move. Yeah. Okay, so once you've got all this finished, that's practically your background done. Unless you want to add different lighting in the background and you want to do different things with it, totally up to you. This is your project. Yeah, so this will probably be the end of the tutorial. Enjoy rendering as well. To render, you just click up on the render tab right here, render image, wait for all the samples to come through, and then eventually it will allow you to save under image, I think it is. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.